Good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining. It's a little before sunrise and really foggy out today. And I decided to come out. You can actually feel the, mist in the air in a way. It's pretty cool out here. Annie and I kind of enjoying it. You can see the fog. I'm surprised I'm as bright as I am in this picture. Thanks for joining. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please subscribe and share it with others. I talk about mental health is spiritual health. Where are you going, Annie? Annie, come here. She's such a good dog. And I just want to let you know that if you're feeling down, depressed, anxious, or even have PTSD, and you've tried other methods like therapy and medications, I encourage you to reach out to me because I've had that and dug myself out, and I can help others do the same. And that's why I help others be the best version of themselves through coaching. So reach out to me. I'd love to help you. Because as someone once told me, nothing is worth being unhappy. Nothing. Don't want to be miserable. You can live a happy life. All right. Today, we're going to talk about God's provision. And we're going to be in the book of Exodus, chapter 16, verses 11 through 19. The key verse here is verse 15, where Moses said to them, "It is the bread the Lord has given you to eat." It is the bread the Lord has given you to eat. Now, what bread is he talking about? Well, this is the time, Exodus is the period when Moses led the Israelites out of Egypt, and they've already gone through the Red Sea, where the Egyptian army was essentially swallowed up by the Red Sea, and the Israelites got away. But then they entered the wilderness, and they started grumbling at Moses and Aaron, that, oh man, at least when we were in Egypt, we had some meat and, we got our fill of bread. Well, God heard them complaining and said that he would provide for them. So in the morning, there was a dew on the ground, kind of like this. You can't really see the dew, but you probably can imagine it since it's so foggy out. There was a dew on the ground, and once the dew evaporated, there were fine little flakes all over the ground. Actually, it was like little pieces of bread they called manna. God provided food for them while they were traveling through the wilderness. Now, here's a real world example. This one's unbelievable. You may remember it from June of 2023, when 4 siblings were found in the Amazon jungle. They were ages 1 through 13. So that means basically an infant that couldn't walk. And the oldest was like a 7th grader. There were 4 of them. Their plane crashed. Their mom died. But they survived. And can you imagine walking out into the Amazon jungle away from the wreckage of a plane, and there's just 4 of you? An infant, a 1-year-old, and the oldest was a basically 13-year-old. But guess what happened? They survived 40 days. 40 days in the Amazon jungle. They were hiding in tree trunks at night, probably from the predators, right? They would gather water from the rivers or streams and rain. And they knew what fruits and seeds that they could eat in the jungle. So they ended up surviving 40 days in the jungle. Obviously, God was looking over them. All 4 of them survived. And that story, those 40 days, kind of reminds me of the 40 years that the Israelites survived in the wilderness, with God providing food for them. And actually, he was with them all the time. Right? Let's see. He was a pillar of fire by night for the Israelites and a cloud by day. Always with the Israelites for 40 years. Just like those 4 siblings for 40 days in the Amazon jungle. Moses said to them, "It is the bread the Lord has given you to eat. This is what the Lord has commanded. Everyone is to gather as much as they need." Obviously, if we put our faith in God, he will provide for us. It's the same God that provides us with our daily bread, according to Matthew chapter 6, verse 11. We can trust him to provide for our needs, according to the riches of his glory in Jesus Christ. That's what Paul writes in Philippians chapter 4, verse 15. What an awesome God we serve. Now, here are the questions for you. Reflecting on the Israelites. Hey, Annie. Reflecting on the Israelites in the wilderness and the 4 siblings in the Amazon jungle. First question, how have you experienced God's provision? How have you experienced God's provision? And the second question, what are you currently trusting him for? What are you currently trusting him for? Well, let me answer that. How have I experienced God's provision? Well, this is a little bit different than food, but it's definitely God was looking out for me. So I was in a foreign country one time, and it was night, and I believe it was a Sunday night, and it was late, let's say 8 or 9 p.m., and it was pitch black outside. Didn't know exactly where we were. And we were somewhere, can't even remember the city. Didn't know anything, didn't know the language. I locked the keys in the car. So now suddenly, I'm standing in the middle of a foreign country where I can't communicate with anyone, have no idea where I am, no clue, and I cannot get into my car. It's pitch black outside. So, and it's late at night, and there's nobody out. So here comes a car. I have no choice but to flag it down and stop it and try to communicate to the person by showing them that my keys were locked in the car. I had no choice but to get into this person's car at night and have them drive me somewhere. He seemed to indicate he knew someone who could help me. So I got into this car, drove away from my vehicle, had no idea where we were going, could not communicate with this person. I was sweating, did not know what to think. Got dropped off at this other place where these two gentlemen started communicating. And then I was instructed to get in this person's truck. So then I got into another vehicle and had no idea where we were going. Luckily, we arrived back at my car, and this person was able to unlock it and get me into my car. It was unbelievable. Could not communicate with this person verbally, couldn't see anything, didn't know where I was, didn't know anyone. Yet somehow, in less than an hour, I was back inside my car and able to find my way back to my hotel. Now that, I was so scared. That is how I have experienced God's provision. How about you guys? I'd love to hear your stories. Put it in the comments to encourage all of us. Now, the second question, what are you currently trusting Him for? Well, I'm trusting Him for everything. Absolutely everything. My health, my family and friends' health and safety, my shelter, my food, everything. Honestly, that's not an exaggeration. And Annie's health too. Right, Annie? Come here, Annie. Annie, come here. Here, come say hi. How about you guys? What are you currently trusting Him for? Let me know. Now, I want to thank you for watching my video, and if you haven't already liked it, please do so, share it with others, subscribe to my channel, and remember, if you feel down, depressed, anxious, or have PTSD, I've been there, and I got myself out, and I can help you too. So, please reach out, don't hesitate. And I also want to mention that I get a lot of my content from the Our Daily Bread booklet. You can get one yourself. Go check it out at ourdailybread.org. It's pretty cool. And I encourage you guys to read the Bible every day, attend church, and reflect on God's provision today at every meal and thank Him for it. All right? Thanks for watching. And from the foggy, misty field, Annie and I are signing off. Have a great day. Peace.